It's Week 18 of the NFL, and all eyes are on the dual threat Lamar Jackson. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Ravens and the Browns, next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They've been playing well, really well. Winners of 5 of their last 7, but losers last time out. Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
The ball on the tee, we're set for football. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And it would be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterbacks shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions, didn't throw a touchdown pass, team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. Well, this defense for the Browns, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Now Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he's brought down. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 43. Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off the option, here's Henry. He's able to force his way through 1 man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion right here. From the gun, Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 14. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. A nice gain there to his trusty tight end, and now it's got them thinking opening drive touchdown here as they get into the red zone.
And in most cases with your tight end, you feel like you've got a mismatch no matter who's covering him. Is it a small cornerback? Is it a linebacker who may not run as well? In any event, whatever you see, you think that tight end can win that battle.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. They go play action with Jackson. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Devin Bush driving in and picking up the sack. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. To throw is Jackson. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start, because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
So here are the Browns under head coach Kevin Stefanski. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's the second down and 6. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. Winston. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete. Well, these two teams met in Cleveland earlier in the year with the Browns coming out on top. So a win here in Baltimore would give them the season sweep. Here's Winston. Throw right side is going to be caught by Judy. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Throwing, Winston. That is caught. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. You look at this Baltimore defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently second best in the NFL.
And how about that last play? Did you see how quickly they got to the ball? Caused a loss of...
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Working out of the gun, Winston. Under pressure, and they got to him again. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
On 4th down, Corey Bojorquez gets set to punt for Cleveland. Deontay Hardy deep for Baltimore. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And he's been effective with the ball in his hands all season long. The NFL's leader among quarterbacks in touchdowns scored on the ground. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Here's Jackson. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now it's Jackson. Yet again targeting and finding Mark Andrews. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. 2nd and a couple.
At the Browns' 15-yard line.
In motion, the tight end. Here's Jackson to throw. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Here's 3rd and a few inches. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
Throwing is Jackson. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Brings us 2nd and goal.
Now it's Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone. Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Tucker's kick is good, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. They are still in search of their first points in the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a 1st down. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Moore. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The 2 big plays right in succession as this one goes for 27. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a 1st down. Winston. The pass underneath. Here's Hines with it. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. Hines is into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Henry out of the pistol. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Cleveland offense making their way out. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Brandon Stevens. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And he puts this one through as the lead moves to 13-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Play action now, Winston. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
From the gun, it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And Andrews going to have a Ravens first down as he'll get this to the 44-yard line. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Jackson now. That pass complete to Deontay Hardy. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. They'll look to throw again. And that one too wide and incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. We'll start with one of the toughest rivalries of this or any other week. Pittsburgh playing host to Cincinnati in the AFC North. And they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to the Motor City to check on the Lions at home in Detroit. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Justin Jefferson, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And that one all tied. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. On the return, here's Jerome Ford. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people would think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Off the play fake, Winston. This is Akins hauling in the short pass. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, Winston. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. A give running right is Chubb. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Adafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Under pressure, they got him again. Trenton Simpson, well, he just flew in there to drop him.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Spins by. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back, because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Chauncey Golston with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter. So possession goes over here on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Jameis to throw it. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. To throw, Winston. Being chased out left. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
The Browns send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
First carry now for Justice Hill. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
From the gun, Jackson. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
Now Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Running left, it's Henry. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
It's now 3rd and 9.
They go play action now. Jackson. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That's good for 28 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Jackson. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Ronnie Hickman with a pick. And the Browns will take over here just shy of the 30. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
How about this? They'll try the option, left side. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. Winston now. Over the middle, complete to Judy. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
An 8-yard pickup. 1st down, Cleveland.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. The Browns on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Hines. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to...
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. But here in the 4th quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
And now here come the Ravens. They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 right at the 30. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So from the 37, here's 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 37-yard line.
Play action. It's Jackson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Browns offense and Jameis Winston set to take over once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The Browns drive about to get started. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. They begin this drive with Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Here's a 2nd and 8. Here's Winston. He's got the connection to Moore. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now Winston. That's going to be caught. It's Shenault. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. To throw is Winston. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd down and 4. Right back to Njoku. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Over the middle, he's got Shenault. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Winston. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Jameis Winston taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Browns have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Henry up the middle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Jackson going to keep it running right. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. From the gun, a run for Hill. And he has the Ravens first down, and it would appear that that's going to be the one to do it. And they will take a knee here. Now 2nd and 11 from the 32. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still 2nd down.
The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Ravens, they finish above 500 for the year. The final tally 9-8. And that is